I think it's working. I think it's going.
Brooks, I get it. We need to do the podcast every week, but there is literally nothing here at all. We need to find the DVD.
Look, man, for the love of God, I've been saying we gotta leave the crater. You don't need that DVD.
It's not for me. It's for the fact that Yaskovich isn't here anymore, and I know it was his favorite DVD. It was like the Godzilla trilogy. We need that DVD.
Look, I'm sure you can buy the bunch of dumb Godzilla movies somewhere
Look
else.
around you. What do you see?
Fine, there's only crater. I don't mean like here. Oh. Like, there's not gonna be a place here you can find the DVDs.
Yeah, no, Crimeopolis is like gone.
Okay, welcome to the Brooks and Zach 100 Years Podcast. I'm Brooks.
And I just need to find this DVD.
Look, okay, for those who don't listen on a weekly basis, there was this whole thing with a cult, and they opened a portal to some other dimension called the Void, and we weren't sure, but eventually it...
We outran it.
We outran it, but it, like, expanded rapidly.
I'm just glad I called that Uber ahead of time.
Yeah, that was very convenient.
Yeah, anyway.
Poor man. Poor soul.
Yeah, but, like, you know, if we tipped him a little bit better, maybe he would have gone on to the next life without regrets. But we didn't, so he didn't. Anyway.
Oh, dear God. Anyway, so the portal expanded at a very rapid rate, and it just sort of consumed the entire city. You know, it just did. And I don't know if everyone we ever knew is dead or just in
I
another
guarantee
dimension.
you at least Lungless Louie is dead.
Yeah, I saw that bit of rubble land on him.
Yeah, that was unfortunate.
Yeah.
He could have breathed.
It's a shame. It's ironic because what landed on him, I noticed, was that billboard. You know, the one we always go past. You know, selling lungs.
Oh right.
Yeah. That's a shame.
I mean, he technically had a second lung inside of him by the end of that experience. We watched a man die.
Yeah, we watched a lot of people die.
We watched a city explode. Implode.
We watched Spivey die. We didn't watch it, but we knew Josh died. But that was unrelated to the Void. He died like
Yaskovich died. Well, I watched him bleed out, and then they like just shoved him off like out of the room.
Oh, you were actually like physically there for that?
Participate. It wasn't me, is what I'm saying.
Zach, if I find out down the line that you had some kind of hand in killing Yaskovich, that'll be like the end of the second act of like a comedy movie when the main characters, like, for an arbitrary reason, really don't like each other and like go their separate ways, only to come back in the third act later to save the day.
That was a very specific arc.
It's how I cope. I think of things in arc, even though this is real life and like life does not have story arcs and such, and it's kind of damaging to think of things that way, but whatever. So we're in the giant crater of where Crimeopolis, the real city that we really lived in, used to be. It's no longer real. It's been sucked up into the void.
So I guess it's like imaginary then, right? Because
well,
that's the opposite of real.
No, it's not imaginary. It's just not there anymore.
Oh. Okay.
So I suggested that we go and we find civilization or supplies anything.
Yeah,
food
sure.
would be nice.
Mm-hmm.
There's no
the
food in
DVD,
this.
though.
There's no food in this crater. And when I said that idea, Matt said, "Great, that is a great idea." Then you said, "That is a terrible idea. We have to find the Godzilla DVDs in order to honor the memory of Yaskovich, because I need to do that. I just have to. I need to get the weight off my shoulders. I need to get these blood off my hands. I need to save the Godzilla DVDs." Those were your exact words. I remember them word for word.
You don't have a transcript. You can't prove it in the court of law, which is also destroyed over there. Ha!
The transcript is called my brain that remembers things.
Well, if you're gonna be a dick about it.
Well, anyway, so Matt said, he's just like, "I'm leaving. I'm going to try to find, other people somewhere."
Those were his exact words, just like that, like in the stupid voice you said
in the stupid stuttery voice like that. And he said, "You guys can either come with me or stay to look for your goddamn Godzilla DVDs."
And so
I looked at you. I looked at you digging around the dirt for the DVDs. I'm like, damn it, I can't.
You were in it for 100 years.
Look, if it wasn't for me finding those pockets of water, we would both be dead.
I mean...
Well, I'd be alive because I'd be with Matt. And
Yeah.
like, assumedly in some kind of
I
civilization.
don't need your help to survive. All I need is the will to find these Godzilla DVDs.
You're not gonna find the Godzilla DVDs. If you haven't noticed, we are in a giant fucking crater, and everything in Crimeopolis, Godzilla DVDs and all, have been sucked up into a hell dimension, or whatever it was. I don't know.
It was called The Void.
Yeah, it was just like a big thing of like black and purple.
Spidey said a lot of stuff about Death Stranding before he died. I don't know if that was...
I don't even know anymore.
Yeah.
Like,
So-
I'm just gonna put all that behind me.
Yeah. So I guess
At
in the
least,
meantime...
at least Crimeopolis isn't my hometown. Like, if this was where I grew up, I'd be very upset.
The Fisherman Village?
Yes, the Fisherman Village. You know, it has a name.
Oh, I guess it does.
It's
but...
called the Village of Fishermen. God damn it.
I'm sorry, Brooks. It's just...
Piece of shit.
Look, we went there
Crimeopolis
once.
guy.
Fuck you. Fuck you, Crimeopolians.
Crimeopolians.
Yeah.
Okay, fine.
Yeah, goddamn, Brooks.
I think the Crimeopolian... Was Matt born here?
No.
Okay, so then the population of Crimeopolians in the world is now 1. You. Because Josh also died.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I guess I'm gonna have to repopulate, Brooks. Don't worry, I can wait until after I find the DVD. And you're the only other person around here, so...
You know I can't have kids.
I know, but you can try. We can try together. Oh, we can try together.
Things get weird when Yaskovich isn't here.
But things also get, like, a lot more chaotic when I miss him.
Yeah.
Miss him. But no, how about to break away from this reality, we talk about the not reality.
The not reality that we, before this point, would use in order to escape the reality of the harsh reality of our lives. So,
Oh, these shorts are ripping. These shorts are, like, tearing from,
Okay, first off, are those the same shorts where you tore off a piece and then tied it around your neck and nearly killed yourself, giving both Josh and myself heart attacks, which was recorded on an episode, so if you're listening to this and that sounds fucking unbelievable, go back.
It was at the end of episode...
I don't remember which... It's at the end of one of the episodes, like the very end.
Yeah.
Like, it was like the last thing to happen on one of the episodes.
You just hear my death throes.
You hear...
My legitimate death throes.
You fucking hear Zach, like, choking, and, like, you can hear both Josh and myself freaking out, because we thought he was gonna fucking die in front of us.
And it would have been recorded, and it would have been great.
It would have been horrifying.
But to answer your question, yes, these are the same shorts.
Then stop tearing them.
I don't mean
You
to.
are the one who's tearing them.
Oh, you're
You're
right.
physically tearing them.
Yeah, you're
Stop
right.
it.
Alright, I'll stop it. I'll stop it for now.
Look for the DVD so we can get out of here. We've been
Alright.
here for a week.
Yeah, but when we find that DVD, it will be a priceless week.
I don't think it's priceless.
I don't either, but look, I've already committed too much that I can't back out now. You know what that's like, right? You already committed too much to a joke, and like if you stop now, you're gonna seem like a butthole.
Yeah, it's almost as if you're referencing a specific thing.
Yeah, almost.
Yeah. Something that we're not gonna say on the podcast.
Yeah, it's not funny enough. It just wasn't funny enough.
It's not funny enough. I feel like if our friend Bradley is listening to this, he knows.
Oh, he knows.
He knows.
Alright, so let's talk about Dungeons and Dragons.
Dungeons and Dragons. Now, a while ago, a group of us got together and we're just like, let's play Dungeons and Dragons, because like a lot of us always wanted to. Some of the people in the group had already like had their own separate groups. So we basically got like, there's about 7 of us.
Six.
6?
6.
Are there 6?
Let's see, you, me,
Oh yeah, it's you, me,
Matt,
Liam,
Spivey,
Connor, and Nathan.
Yeah,
So it is 7.
It was 7, including the DM. Okay,
Nathan, our friend Nathan is the DM, which is Dungeon Master. For those who don't know, you probably do, but like
Just to make sure.
if you've just heard the name and don't know exactly what it is, Dungeons and Dragons is a tabletop role-playing game.
Yes.
And what that means is that each player creates a character going off the Dungeons and Dragons rules, usually
Very loose rules. It's just pretty much you have to roll the stats.
Yeah, you just roll. Like, it's in a high fantasy setting, and you go through a story or in a world created by the DM, the Dungeon Master, who basically controls everyone who's not the players and like creates the scenarios that the players play in. And basically, the actions you take are decided on dice rolls and chance.
Yeah.
Like, along with, like, the different skills you have.
Everybody knows what a D20 is and everything like
Yeah,
that.
you know what a D20 is, and that's, like, how the game works.
So pretty much we're just going to tell you what happened up until this point, because I also need to tell Brooks the most recent thing that happened.
Yeah, so we'll basically just be flip-flopping back and forth between telling it. Zach was not there the first day, and I don't remember exactly why. I think you were, like, maybe working or something.
I think it was something like that. What was it? No, I was coming back from Florida, I think.
Oh yeah, it was back in April, March. It was back in March was when we first started, and we've been going since then.
Oh, sweet.
Like we've been meeting like at least like whenever we can. We've been meeting once a week.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's pretty great. So the way it starts is like we're in like a fantasy world, and everyone's making their characters. And, you know, basically all the characters, like, are starting out in a tavern, and they're basically gonna meet each other, join up, and, like, go on some adventures. With some very loose reasons as to why they are traveling together.
Yep, and the main characters we have at this point...
Well, like, let's go through the characters that were introduced in that bar.
In that bar.
There, so you can follow the characters. So, the sort of... like, it's become more of an ensemble piece as it goes along, the overall story. But when it started, there seemed to be a de facto leader due to him being the most normal, quote-unquote, normal one. And that was Frank. Created by our friend Liam. Frank is a character he's a wizard who has been alive for over 900 years.
Yes, he's just been alive for so long that he forgot what his original name is.
Yeah, so
and it was just one day on the street, a person's like, "Hey, what's your name?" He's like, Frank. And then he just stuck with it.
And he just stuck with Frank. And he has had a lot of experiences, but a lot of them he doesn't remember, either just from the passage of time fading his memory, or on the many benders he has gone on over the years. Like
a lot of hard drugs.
A lot of hard drugs. Because, you know... So he can be killed, but he doesn't necessarily age.
Correct.
Yes, he just keeps going. And the reason why he is immortal is something that we're actually later down the line will try... We haven't discovered it yet, but we will try to discover exactly why that is.
And that is Frank.
That is Frank, the first character.
Next up we have...
Uriah Heep. Let's
Heep.
Let's go down the line on, like, ridiculousness.
All right.
Okay. We have Uriah Heep. Now, Uriah... is a bard. He's a half-elf bard. I'll mention that Frank is a human. He's a human wizard.
Yes.
Uriah's a half-elf bard.
Yep.
And I don't think his backstory has been revealed all that much.
He hasn't really said anything about his backstory. He just plays.
Yeah,
I think Uriah is the most... like, unknown of us all. He just plays the guitar or sitar.
Yeah. He helps pay for the inns and hotel rooms.
That is all he does.
By playing. He's helped out in battles.
Well, I don't remember a battle where he's helped. It's not like a slight at him. I legitimately cannot remember.
Don't worry, maybe we'll jog your memory as we're going.
All right.
Okay. So, like, a lot of the stuff, because it happened so long ago, will be kind of fuzzy.
Yes.
Like, for both of us, and we'll try to recount it as best we can, and it'll be able to become more and more detailed as it goes along.
And then there was Jefferson Davis.
And then there was Jefferson Davis. Now, Jefferson Davis is a dwarf. And his gimmick is that he is a racist. He hates... pretty much everyone. Maybe, like, not humans and dwarves, but everyone else he doesn't really have much of an affinity for.
He made sure to come up with slurs for every race.
Yeah, slurs which we will not repeat here.
Correct.
Yes. So, gnomes are the ones he is most racist against. And the reason behind that is that a gnome slept with his wife, and he walked in on that happening.
Yeah,
and ever since then, he has had a strong hatred for gnomes, and he thought, might as well throw all the other races in there as well.
Yep. And before we get to the last one of the party, I believe
there was one...
John Stamos?
John Stamos.
Yep. Not the one from Full House.
Just John Stamos. Just a normal guy, John Stamos. Who isn't quite right in the head. And he's a very unknown. He's a very mysterious character. Like no
Yes.
one, like people don't really know a lot about John Stamos.
But he was a nice guy.
Yeah.
He looked nice.
Yeah, he
John
looked like a real stand-up guy.
Yeah.
And then at the time, because more characters will be introduced, but at the time there was only one other character, and his name. Okay, so I'll say
Don't give the other the special part away that was revealed later. Just give him the introduction.
Oh yeah, I know how to introduce. I was just gonna say, Uriah Heep was created by Connor, and Jefferson Davis was created by Bradley, and John Stamos was created by our friend Griffin.
Yes.
This last character was created by me, and his backstory is he's a forest gnome.
Yes.
He's a druid.
Yes.
But he's also a criminal. He has a criminal background. Does not mean he's a bad person. Does not mean he's a bad person. You know, just because he's a criminal.
Why? What'd he do?
His name is John Hinckley Jr. No relation. No relation. And when I created this character, I had the intention of his backstory. His backstory has become a bit more fleshed out over time, but I had the intent that every time someone asks what he did, it would change.
Yes.
And it would be a different random crime.
Every time. It's
Like-
yeah, so what if you accidentally split open a couple of baby seals? That suddenly makes you a bad person.
So what if you like get caught with tax evasion? Just because you do doesn't mean you're a bad person. So you participate in one Armenian genocide, and suddenly you're a criminal and a bad person. So that's John Hinckley Jr. He's a gnome. He's the shortest of the bunch, and basically Frank, Uriah, Jefferson, John, and John. Okay, all 5 of these guys were just staying at the inn together. And I don't remember exactly why they came together, but I remember one of the first situations that they got into.
Okay.
It was, they each entered the inn one by one, and I believe Uriah and Frank entered first, and they bought rooms for themselves. And they went up to their rooms to go to sleep. And then John Hinckley came in, and he bought a room for himself, and he was headed upstairs. Jefferson Davis was just having some drinks in the little restaurant bar area of the inn.
Okay.
And then John Stamos came up, and he wanted a room. Didn't want to pay for it though, so he just sort of went upstairs, and he was banging on some of the doors, trying to get someone to open them to see if he could have the room.
Classic Stamos.
Classic Stamos. And as he saw me walking by, an idea popped into his head. And he grabbed John Hinckley and used him as a battering ram to try to break down one of the doors. So he hit John Hinckley against the door several times, and the door did not budge. And then Uriah Heep opened the door because it was to his room, unknowingly to anyone. Right. And he's just like, what is going on here? Why are you banging on my door? And then he dropped John Hinckley, and I forget what he did next, but I remember Frank came out. And see, the thing about Frank is, each character
is the peacemaker. Peacekeeper.
Yeah. Each character has their own alignment morally. For those who don't know, D&D uses a morality alignment chart, where it goes good, neutral, and evil, and within those you have chaotic, neutral, and lawful.
Yeah.
So Frank is lawful good.
Yes.
He is the bastion of peace and everything.
He camps in this corner and just aims and get it. Overwatch.
But I did the intentional drum joke, and then I did my audio tick where I say
yeah,
trying to think of the next thought.
Continue.
Yeah. Anyway, so Frank has a rule called Frank 116, which is
1-6. It's just Frank
1-6.
Yeah, Frank 1-6.
Okay,
1-6.
I don't know.
You're thinking of John 3:16, which is the actual Bible verse.
Right.
No,
Frank
1-6. Yes.
Is don't be shitty. Just don't be shitty, and you're fine. And he came out and he saw that John Stamos was being shitty because he picked up John Hinckley and used him as a battering ram.
That sounds about right.
I don't know the exact order of events because it happened a while ago, but I remember John Hinckley going down the stairs. I remember John Stamos and Frank also going down the stairs. And when I say going down the stairs, I don't mean walking down the stairs. I mean falling down the stairs.
Okay.
But after things calmed down and settled down, everyone sort of gathered around the table, and They sat with Jefferson Davis, said hi to him. Uriah Heep joined in because he got sort of caught up in the whole situation. And after tempers had cooled, they decided, hey, we're all traveling together. We're all traveling. Why don't we travel together? It'll be safer for us, and we'll just, at least for now, because I believe everyone was going to be headed to...
Avarath?
No, I think they started in Avarath.
Ditherian.
Ditherian is the big city that we went to later.
Yes.
We were thinking, before we get traveling anywhere, let's try to find a job, have something to do.
Yeah, have some,
like
money.
The first thing we did as a group, and we actually found a guy in the tavern who was looking for, people, to do a task.
Like willing to fight, too.
Yeah, willing to fight. So we went up to him and we asked him, what was the deal, and he actually owned a manor just outside of Avarath, which was the city that we were in. It was it's like a farm, like a really big farming city and everything. And he said that something killed his entire family. He's not sure what. He just knows that something did, and ever since then he hasn't been able to return to his house. So he hires us to go out and clear out whatever may be at the manor, and we don't know what it's going to be. So we accept this job, and he promises to reward us in some way, if we succeed. So as we're about to head out, though, John Stamos, really for no reason, sees two city guards sitting at a table, and he decides to attack them.
Yeah.
And
no reason. No.
So he attacks them, and he's not doing well in the fight. And what happens is, after the four of us had a little moment where we're just like, should we help out John Stamos? And we agreed, and I was a big proponent of this, that we don't, because he seems like a real asshole.
Yep.
So we decided not to, but he tried. He picked up John Hinckley again and tried using him as a weapon.
Did he successfully do it?
No.
Oh, okay.
What happened was he used him as a weapon, I remember. And then John Hinckley broke free, and he's like, you know what, I'm going to help the guards take him down. So I tried grabbing him, but then he fell and landed on me and crushed me a little. I'm like, oh, God. Just in this inn, I have taken so much damage. I just got the shit stomped out of me that entire time. Mm-hmm. So it was so satisfying that as John Stamos was almost dead and he was heading for the door to try to escape from the guards, because the rest of us decided to just leave as soon as I got up and they got me, and we decided to just leave.
Right.
And he was trying to escape with us, and it was so satisfying that I was able to turn around and use my cantrip, which is just a spell that you can use whenever. Use my cantrip of poison spray, and I just turned, sprayed him in the face, and he fell unconscious, and the guards arrested him. I'm like, yes!
The only time John Hinckley did something useful.
We'll get to that.
Yeah, okay.
We will get to that.
Yep.
Anyway, so the four decide to travel to this manor. As they're traveling, Frank and John Hinckley start to bond a bit, and it's helped along by the fact that Frank lets John Hinckley ride on his back, sort of like Yoda and Luke in Empire Strikes Back, and they both really like that setup a lot, and that led to their eventual friendship. Uriah and Jefferson were, meanwhile, starting to connect with each other, and they both started out very much not liking John Hinckley.
Yes.
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 So, they went to the manor, and it was all spooky. It was night. It was covered in fog. They couldn't quite see what was happening. And so, John Hinckley was just like, I know what I'll do. I'm going to climb up in this tree, and I'll see if I can get a vantage point and view how everything is. So, I went up in the tree, I was looking around, and while I was doing that, everyone else was looking around, exploring different things. And the other three came across a shed to the house, and they noticed the door was kind of ajar. I didn't know if anything was in it. So Jefferson Davis, he suggested firing a warning shot.
Is this where it started? Is this where the warning shot started?
Yes.
Okay.
But when he said that, everyone assumed that he was going to fire a warning shot, because he has a bow and arrow. They assumed he was going to fire a warning shot at the shed. And what he meant was, he saw John Hinckley up in the tree, and he hates gnomes, and he thought John Hinckley looked dumb. So he decided to just scare John Hinckley by shooting the tree, right next to him, hitting the tree, right where he was.
Yeah, right.
And scaring him.
He rolled a nat 1, didn't
He rolled a nat 1, and what that means is there are 2 natural rolls you can get. A nat 1 and a nat 20. A nat 20 means...
no matter what you tried to do, you pretty much succeed.
Yeah, you succeed in,
With flying
fantastic fashion.
Yeah, and the exact opposite is for a natural 1.
If you roll a nat 1, whatever you're doing, you fail spectacularly. So, all he had to do, when he rolled that nat 1, he released his arrow for the warning shot.
It wasn't a warning shot.
It hit John Hinckley square in the chest, and he fell out of the tree.
How much... I'm surprised you didn't die at that point.
Yeah, I'm also surprised that John Hinckley lived. He was unconscious during the rest of that.
Oh.
And the thing was, because I actually had to leave the session where that was happening. And that was a thing when it was just... I believe it was just the 3 of them. I thought just in the most recent session when we were talking about one-on-one pairings throughout the campaign, I feel like Liam might have mentioned that it was the gargoyle thing might have just been him and Bradley or him and Connor, but I think it was all 3 of them actually.
Yeah, that's possible. So, okay, there's a little bit of blank space
Yeah,
here.
there's a bit of blank space.
Okay.
Like I said, the early stuff.
And then what I remember happening after that was apparently they fought some gargoyles.
Okay, so what they discovered is they found a bunch of corpses of the guy's family, and they found some gargoyles. And they had come to life, and they were...
Yeah, it looked like straight up Game of Thrones in here.
Yeah, they were essentially walking around the manor, this, spooky, scary manor.
Yep.
And it took all of the combined efforts of the 3 of them, because the 4th member couldn't help them, because he was unconscious due to an arrow in the chest.
Yep.
And they were able to defeat the gargoyles. And when they were back on the road was when John Hinckley woke up, and it was explained to him what had happened and how he became unconscious. And that started the repertoire between him and Jefferson Davis.
Okay.
Yes. And on the way, once they get back to Avarath and they meet the guy again, essentially the reward that they get is they get a bunch of money and some supplies, but more than that, they actually get to keep the manor and fix it up.
But before they went back, I thought they meant Ventus Thum. Because that was after they killed the gargoyles.
Oh, okay. You can explain Ventus's introduction.
Yeah,
because that's Zach's character.
Yeah,
Ventus.
my character came in at this point where he was a dragonborn, a good-sized dragonborn. He was a barbarian, I believe, and he was supposed to be the chosen one, the very cliche chosen one.
Yeah, there was a whole backstory with him. From the land that he was from, and there was a whole prophecy.
Yeah, but he didn't want any of that. He was like, I don't want to do that. That sounds like destiny's predetermined for me. I kind of hate that. What I'm going to do is a bad deed a day, because the chosen one, the holy one or whatever, he's always depicted as a good guy. I don't want to be the good guy. So he made sure that every day he would do one bad deed, and that would range from sneezing in somebody's face to what else did I make him do?
We'll find out later.
Oh, right. I remember one thing. But yeah, and he was just kind of a meathead, I'm guessing.
He was a fucking idiot.
Yeah, he was an idiot.
And I don't know why you
strong.
played him as an idiot.
I don't know why either, but it worked.
Because it was much to the chagrin of everyone in the party.
Yeah.
Because, were you, invited to it from, the D&D from the start?
Yes.
Okay.
Why would you say it like that?
Well, because, no, I mean,
Oh.
No, Zach,
No.
what I mean is because the way Matt came in, we were just like, hey, is it cool if Matt joins us? And then they're just like, yeah. I didn't know if, either, and if any of us were just like, hey, it'd be cool if Zach joined us.
Yeah, no, sure.
Because, like I said, I don't remember why you weren't there in the beginning.
No, it's fine. It's fine. It's fine, Brooks.
Anyway, how did Ventus join the party?
So, Ventus was in the necklace that Frank had.
Oh yeah, I remember that. He had that. He had a net. I don't remember where he got the necklace from.
Yeah, but I remember when I erupted from it, Frank rolled a nat 1 to figure out if I popped out of the necklace or not. So he, to this day, has never realized that his necklace went missing. Ventus just saw this whole destruction the gargoyles have made. Didn't know how any of it happened, so he was just on guard. And he's like, what the fuck? And then Frank sent him a little message in the brain. He's like, hey, no, it's cool. We're fine.
Frank's one of the spells Frank has is like message, I believe.
Telepathy, pretty
like,
much.
Essentially telepathy.
It's telepathy. Yeah. And so Ventus just like stabs a giant glaive into the ground. It's like, I want to know what happened.
Oh yeah, I remember. I skipped this because we were exploring. The rest of us were exploring the mansion after the gargoyles had died, like seeing what was in there. And I remember like after the necklace erupted, you were somewhere in the mansion, and we were just like, fucking, there's someone here.
Yep. And so, eventually, bygones became bygones because they realized they didn't want to mess with me, and I didn't want to take 4 people on at once.
Yeah.
And so, a friendship was made. Not a friendship, but just, like, another alignment. Like, alright. Yeah. And, because my character had no idea where to go. He was like, I have no idea where I am or what I'm doing.
So, after we met you, we then did a little cut to where John Stamos was. He was in prison.
Yep.
He insulted the guy in the cell next to him, so through the bars, the guy started choking him out. And then John Stamos,
instead of prying away his hands to breathe.
Exactly. He, instead of doing that, he took off his pants and started masturbating.
Vigorously.
Yes, and then the guy was just like, ugh, and he just broke John Stamos' neck. That is the end of John Stamos.
And nobody missed him. Nobody will miss him.
Well then. So anyway, we decided to go after that, and like I said earlier before I realized that Ventus joined us. Oh, I forgot. We have this thing when like we were trying.
They were always calling him Thum.
We were trying to come up with a nickname because we couldn't remember the name Ventus, so we always called him Thum. And he had this thing where
like, Thum is my father's name.
And then we're just like,
Thum, calm down. You can't.
Yeah, Thum, you can't choose your own nicknames, Thum. That's not how this works.
But my name is Ventus.
Thum
is my father's name.
Thum. You can't choose your own nicknames. You can't have us call you this Ventus thing.
Oh, and so we decided to set off for the biggest city.
The biggest city in the land, called Ditherion.
Ditherion.
So we decided to head to the biggest city in the country called Ditherion.
Which was about a couple days journey.
Yeah, a couple days journey. We just wanted to like cut straight through and not like take the roads.
Right.
We thought that was a good idea at the time.
I mean, it worked out for us. You know, we got...
Yeah. So, I believe it was the first night that we were there.
Yes.
We camped.
Yeah.
Well, before we got to Ditherion, the first night of travel in the woods, we set up camp.
Yep.
And we were going to do shifts of 2 people at a time on watch.
Yes.
Yes.
I remember the first shift, it was Ventus sitting up with the fire with, I believe, Frank?
No. Well, yeah, I think for the first shift, yeah. And then in the next shift, it was Jefferson Davis and John Hinckley.
Yes.
Now, the funny thing about John Hinckley was he climbed up into the tree to get a proper vantage point. And the funny thing about him, he kind of sleeps with his eyes open.
Yeah, but no, he was like, yeah, I'll keep watch. And then he fell asleep with his eyes open.
Yeah,
you know,
exactly.
that's how you keep watch, right?
He's just like, yeah, I was just like, wow, look at my watch. It's late. I should go to sleep. That's what keeping watch means, right? It's like a euphemism. And because of that, very large wolves were able to approach the camp, and they ambushed us, and they attacked everyone. Frank was the first one to be attacked. They saw him laying there, and they went straight for his neck.
Yeah.
And he was looking really bad. I think he had to do a few death saving throws.
No, I don't think he did.
Oh yeah.
No, he was hurt, but he wasn't that bad. I think he had like 2 health left.
Yeah, I think he had like 2 health, and like the wolves attacked some of the other people, but they were able to get up and like defend themselves.
And then I remember there was a wolf who stared me in the eyes, and instead of attacking this wolf, I decided to go, no, No, I can make it understand me.
So while everyone else was like fighting the other wolves, you were like, trying to appeal to this
I
one
locked eyes with this wolf, and I felt a connection with it. And as I locked eyes with it, I could tell it wanted to eat my throat out. But instead of that, I just kind of did a quick eye glance over to John Hinckley.
Yeah, John Hinckley turned over to where Thum was and just saw him doing stuff with that
Thum
wolf.
was his father's name.
Thum. As to what Thum was doing with the wolf, and he was very confused as to what Thum was doing. He didn't really understand what was happening.
Right.
Like he was just in the middle of the fight, taking his dagger, trying to stab some of the wolves while everyone else is casting spells and shit.
Correct.
He's using his thorn whip and being generally a badass, and then what does Thum do?
Thum, you can't prove this. But what Thum did was he sicked the wolf. He befriended the wolf and sicked the wolf onto John Hinckley, lunging at John Hinckley's throat and ripping it out.
And the wolf did so much damage that it did more than twice of John Hinckley's max health and
Which
damage.
means insta-death.
He instantly died. But the story of John Hinckley doesn't end there.
Because out of game.
Out of game. As soon as I died in the game, I was just like, man, I really don't want to re-roll an entire character sheet.
Yeah, you were just being lazy.
Yeah, I was being lazy. At this point, I was being lazy. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think you can justify yourself.
No. Then I can't. But now I was gonna say, but I didn't feel like re-rolling my entire thing. So I turned to Nathan. I'm like, hey Nathan, is it all right if my new character has the exact same character sheet as John Hinckley Jr., has all of the memories and experiences of John Hinckley Jr., is called John Hinckley III, and bursts out of the chest of the dead John Hinckley? And he said yes! And then, in the middle of the wolf battle... Okay, so...
Nah, it wasn't
it was at, so I died. My neck got chewed
John Hinckley's
shut.
neck was chewed out, and then he collapsed. He was a lifeless corpse.
It was very clear that he was dead. And Frank, having become very attached to John Hinckley, was like, no!
And then he completely quarter-staffed the wolf to
Yeah,
death.
and then used magic missile and killed all of the wolves.
Yes.
And then he's just like, no! And as he was yelling, I think he did a jump in the air.
No. I remember what happened. There was still a dead wolf carcass on top of your dead body, and we saw the wolf body move again. And Frank's like, ah! And just smacks it. He just really hard smacks it. But that's when you the wolf body falls off, and you just see you go, ah!
Yeah. In the way Liam pictured it, I jumped out doing the Super Mario jump pose and everything. And she's and then I remember him jumping in the air and catching me, and
God,
and it was a beautiful moment. So that's how John Hinckley III happened. And the way that John Hinckley is set up is that every time he dies, he spawns as the next John Hinckley out of the corpse of the previous one. And a random number of insanity points are added to it.
Yeah, he just becomes more and more insane each time he dies.
So that was John Hinckley III. I'm currently John Hinckley VII.
There's multiple times where he dies later on. But we will get to those times
We will get to those
because
later.
You need to help me find the DVD.
Okay, yeah. We realized that, we'll keep these D&D segments. We won't make them the full episode because it's fun to, it's fun to hear about it, and it's but it's much more fun to actually be playing it and everything. So we'll keep these short, and we'll get back to it at a later episode.
All right, Brooks. I already checked under all these rocks over here. Could you check over there and look under all those rocks for the DVD?
Look, all these rocks look fucking same, man. I don't even know anymore.
All right, yeah, you're right. I had the DVD on me the entire time.
Oh my god.
Yeah. I made sure to save it. I made sure to save it while we were running, and I just needed to find some helpful rocks. But at that point, you guys were just oh, come on, we gotta go. And I really didn't want to go because I don't like walking, and we'd probably have to go through the desert. But no,
we're gonna die, aren't we?
No, we got the DVD case.
Matt
now.
was the most competent out of all of us.
Well, yeah, he was, but he doesn't have a DVD for Godzilla vs. Mothra and King Ghidorah.
Let me see that. that.
I want you to know that I've always had this only the entire time.
Yeah, I realize this now.
Yeah.
Godzilla, Mothra, and King Ghidorah, Giant Monsters All-Out Attack is the third one. Godzilla and Mothra, the Battle for Earth. Man, if Josh was alive, he'd be like super.
Oh yeah,
stoked
that's
to see
why.
this.
This is why I saved it for him.
To see this real DVD that's actually here.
Yeah.
That we actually have.
But too bad he is dead now, so he can't see that. Also, during the explosion, a lot of things messed up, and I think this one DVD is cracked. I don't know. It's got a couple scratches on it. Let me just try to wipe it on my shirt a bit.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe that. Yeah, sure. Maybe that helps. Let's see. So, yeah, now all we need to do is find a DVD player.
I don't think we can eat DVDs.
Yeah, no, but we can watch it for entertainment, Brooks. And really...
We're gonna die.
No, Brooks. Comedy
we're really
is
going to die this time.
Yeah.
We've said before that we're going to die, but we're actually going to die now.
All right, Brooks, if it's going to stop your whining, we can move from the crater now, if you want.
Fine. Let's leave the crater. You can have your stupid DVD.
It's not stupid, it's...
Just help me with the recording equipment.
Yeah, sure, no problem. Is we good?
We're good. Yeah, we're
Alright.
good. Okay.
Alright, so, what direction do you want to head in?
Hang on.
The nothingness over there, the nothingness over there, the nothing...
Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. Catch a tiger by the toe. If he hollers, let him go. My Yaskovich told me to pick
it's going
the
on for
very
two,
best
it's a long
one,
bit. It's very...
and you are it.
It would have been...
Let's go this way.
You didn't even, like, keep up with the rhyme thing. You just pointed in the direction that you wanted to go. Why did you do that whole nursery rhyme thing if you didn't just point in different directions? You just pointed in the same spot. Well, whatever. Let's just... Brooks? You'll be fine, Brooks.
I miss houses.
I mean, going a week without food and water and all that stuff. Well, like, an actual meal. I mean, we found... There's no more, like, sewer rats, are there? Like we can,
they're all dead.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Eaten. Alright, yeah, let's go. But, you know...
Just walk and talk for about, like, 10, 15 minutes.
You're very committed to this whole podcast.
I will do a podcast until I die.
So, what, like, in a couple minutes?
Yeah.
Alright.
So we need to last another 15 minutes or so. Because we're currently at about fucking, I'd say
do
like
the math. Go ahead.
44 minutes.
Alright.
It's about 16 more.
Alright.
A little less than that, because we don't always go to an hour. Sometimes we go to like 50-some minutes, and that's fine.
Yeah. Alright, so what's on the plan, Brooks? What are we trying to do now?
Okay, step 1, find water. Step 2, find food. Step 3, find people. Step 4, question marks. Step 5, profit.
Okay, what about shelter?
Shelter, that's the step 4.
Yeah, on Maslow's scale of, what is it?
Who the fuck is Maslow?
It's not Maslow. Who am I thinking of?
I don't, like, I know
It's
what
the
you're
pyramid.
talking...
It's the pyramid.
I know what you're talking about, but I don't know who made it.
Why do I think Maslow? I'm thinking of Pavlov.
You're thinking of, like, general, like, Russian psychologist names.
Yeah, like Serbia.
That's a Russian location.
Oh, if Yaskovich was here.
If he was not dead, man, that would be something.
But look, he could quiz me on a bunch of geography things that I wouldn't know, but I could quiz you on also important things that you wouldn't know.
Really, like what?
Like anime.
Okay, ask me an anime question.
All right. We'll just start out with something simple. Who is Killer Bee in the Naruto franchise?
I assume it is someone with bee powers.
Okay. Killer Bee is a person with bee powers. Keep going.
I don't know what else you expect from me.
I need you to give me more.
He's vaguely Asian.
You know, it would have worked with anybody else if you would have said that, but no, he's not. He's vaguely Asian. We'll go with that.
Okay. So Killer Bee, he is a man.
A vaguely Asian man.
He's a vaguely Asian man. He was in a science experiment, and it turned him into bees. But he can use the bees in order to turn into a body, and also there's ninjas.
Okay, so, no, he's a black guy with the powers of an octopus, but you know.
I don't think this quite works.
It doesn't.
But
as we were talking about that, it reminded me of several other very terrible things that have originated from Asia and Japan. And that is the movie Zebra Man, which I think we need to watch. And the other one is, I think it's called Panty Man.
I need to see more bad movies.
You need to see Panty Man.
Yeah, I feel like I can't really
He
appreciate
gets his
the good
power
movies
from
I watch with
putting
it.
on a Speedo and putting on women's used panties over his face. And then he becomes ripped. And he shoves his bulge into people's face. And he's hard as rock. I'll find it. I'll find it. No, it's a really...
No, it's...
The tighter he makes his Speedo, the stronger he becomes.
Don't have to.
No.
What I was saying was I need to watch more bad movies in order to have an appreciation for good movies. Like, Josh always shits on like Disney movies and such, but
Right.
after watching Disco Worms, I have an appreciation for how good those movies are.
Yeah, they're all kind of terrible. Like all the Disco Worms stuff, I mean.
The Disco Worms was a terrible movie, and it gave me an appreciation of good movies like Disney movies.
I'm trying... I gotta find it now. No, it's not Click, whatever Click is.
Click is the Adam Sandler thing.
Yeah, why did it say that was...
I know, I'm just trying to move the equipment.
Oh, God, who's that Speedo Man? Jesus, I can't remember. I'll have to look it up later. But... Asian Speedo male videos. That's not what I'm looking for. Should I click on it, Brooks?
Click on it, yeah.
I don't want to click on
It's
it.
amazing that we have service here.
Yeah, I mean, you would think that all the cell towers and everything were destroyed, but I guess because of that whole...
Holy shit, we have service here.
What? Yeah.
I'm dialing on my phone. I'm calling 911.
Why? Who's gonna answer?
Fucking, I don't know.
The secret police? They were probably destroyed too.
We had a secret police?
No. We did not.
Oh,
Look, Brooks, you can't
I'm
tell
kind
me.
of glad that shithole is gone.
Why? I mean, look, it's still here. You could probably shit in it. It's a big hole.
No, I don't mean like a literal shithole. I mean the city of Crimeopolis.
Oh, okay, because I was about to
which is
say,
a shithole.
it's a good thing you didn't use it because I actually did fill it up right before we left. I think there is something wrong with me. I ate too many of the rats. They go right through me, Brooks.
The battery's dead. Let's just go. We're almost at the top edge of the crater. About, I'd say maybe like 5 more minutes
Why
around
did we
that.
decide to go down to the middle of the crater anyway?
Because you thought that'd be the most likely place for the DVD to be. I repeat, the one that you had the entire time.
Yeah, but like, you're right.
motherfuck.
Comedy trumps.
You fucking dinglehop. You friggin' sperm bank, you.
That's your favorite insult ever since Liam gave you a compliment for it, isn't it?
Yes, it is. It is my favorite.
It's funny because I know that you wouldn't have paid any mind to that insult unless like it would have been just another casual thing Brooks says when he's flustered.
I was in John Hinckley mode.
Yeah, but because Liam complimented it, you're just like, well, I guess I gotta incorporate this into other things.
Yeah, I think I've used the phrase "you fucking sperm bank" before.
Yeah, I imagine you have.
Somewhere in my life, I've, as a joke, not like seriously. I don't think I'd ever like actually call someone a sperm bank because that's incredibly insulting.
You probably call me a sperm bank.
I call you a sperm bank, but I was as a joke, unless I was really mad at you. But there's only been like 1 or 2 times the entire time I've known you that I've been legitimately mad at you.
Yeah. At least once of those times I'm actually, I apologize for. But the other times I think maybe it was funny.
Yeah, and it wasn't.
Okay, yeah, that sounds about right.
Like, I probably didn't at the time, but I would have called you a sperm bank.
Oh, goodness. Wait, if we don't have a DVD player,
Uh-huh.
what could we do with this DVD?
Eat it.
No, we can use it as a hat, Brooks. We can use it as a hat to shield ourselves from the sun.
I don't think that's how that works.
Brooks, I'm saying we're going through the desert, and what we need is to prepare.
If we get to the top of this crater and we're in the Crimeopolis desert, I'm probably not gonna do anything. I'm probably just gonna keep walking, but I'll be upset about it.
What are you gonna do? You're gonna go to the opposite end of the crater? This is a very deep crater.
It was the size of the entire city.
Yeah. You want to walk all the way down?
It's weird how
all the way back.
It's weird how the portal only went to the size of the city exactly.
I mean, oh hey, you're right. Like even the weird sidewalk that kind of just extends a little bit past the city's limits, it got that too.
Yeah,
That's weird.
it's weird. Anywho.
And it even went deep enough in that one underground bunker part in the Brooks and Zach 100 Years building.
Yeah, it went real deep in that.
Wonder what
Do you think Matt went the other way? Which way did he go? I don't remember. It was...
Well, I do remember it was
So
earlier, and then we were saying, yeah, no, I just gotta find the DVD, and you
Yeah.
said, yeah, as soon as Zach finds it, we'll leave. And man, we could have left with Matt. And I'm gonna be honest, Brooks. I wanted the reveal that I had the DVD to be a little bit bigger than it was. I thought you were gonna be surprised that I've just been keeping it hidden from you for the past week.
I mean, I am surprised by that, and I made it my reaction as big as all the energy I could muster.
Yeah, but Brooks, it was really hard to keep it hidden. Like even during those bathroom breaks, the hunting for the rats, all of it, it was just hiding right here in my waistband the whole time.
See, yeah, I figured, that must have been where you've been hiding it. The more I think about it now, there was the one place I didn't check. That and all the other places because I didn't think you'd have it. But whatever.
Yeah, but don't worry, Brooks.
Don't worry, we're almost at the top of this crater.
Yeah, and
yeah, it's fucking desert.
all right.
Just kill me. Just kill me now.
No, Brooks. No, if you die now, then like. Yeah, well, remember the great times we had in the desert? Remember the last time?
No.
Well, we were drugged.
Yeah, you say great times. I remember horrific imagery.
Yeah.
Scarring me for life.
All right, Brooks, you can either die here in Crimeopolis, or the remnants of what Crimeopolis was, or you can die in a desert where, it's not Crimeopolis.
I'll die in the desert. Let's go. let's get moving.
I wish I could have given you more, but...
No, you underestimate how much I hated living there.
Oh.
I did that for you.
Yeah, well, we also had the tower there already. The Brooks and Zach 100 Years... the Brooks and Zach 100 Years tower is gone. Guess we'll have to build it from scratch.
After we had gone through so much to get it back.
Yeah.
After we lived in that shitty apartment for a long time and we
Wait,
finally
we do
got
still have
the
a signal.
apartment back.
I'm getting a call from Matt.
You got a call from Matt?
Hey, Matt, what's up, baby?
Put him on speaker.
Matt,
Put it on speaker. I want to talk to him.
yeah, sure. And my phone's dead.
Damn it!
Well, at least he's maybe alive.
Or someone stole his phone and tried calling you.
Why would they call me?
I
I was.
in a butt dial.
Yeah, that's true. All right, I guess. I mean, well, we got the desert in front of us. I doubt they want to hear
We
us.
got the desert. We got a crater behind us. We got the desert in front of us. I feel like
That's a good
I feel
song.
like this episode's gone on long enough.
Yeah. All right.
We may die. Let's just do the plugs in the
Yeah.
sign off.
If you find us, you can always contact us at.
Yeah, you can. If you haven't if you know of a civilization near our location that we can go to, just send us an email with brooksandzach100years@gmail.com.
Or just at Squeezy McCheesy or at Brave Snuggles.
Those are our Twitter handles. You can check us out on Soundcloud and iTunes. Give us a rating.
Yeah.
Like you can check out our YouTube channel. Subscribe to that. Do all this stuff
In remembrance of us.
in remembrance of our corpses.
Well, I guess
so
I'll just.
you might as well do the same sign off you always.
As you climb up from your everlasting metaphorical depression and you look up to nothingness, you see nothingness. You think, isn't it supposed to get better from here on out? There was just so much effort put in to what I was just doing, and now it's just flatness. There's no more way up. How do I go on? You say this as you look down and shake your head to diminish the thought of depression, but you can't. You look back up forward, and with reluctance, despite already reaching your peak and not knowing if there is another way up from here, you march forward with the words of encouragement you say to yourself. You say, Brooks and Zach 100 Years. Thanks for listening, everybody. We're probably never going to see us again.
Probably. See ya.